Good evening, everyone. Oh, thank you. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Bonnie McDonald. I'm the president and CEO of Landmarks Illinois, and I'm delighted that you're here with us this evening. And on behalf of our board of directors and our staff, again, delighted to welcome you to the 32nd annual Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Awards. In this beautiful space here tonight and a gorgeous evening. So whether you have been part of our work for years or you're just joining us for the first time, we are so glad that you are here tonight with us. Preservation is a collective effort, and tonight's room is filled with the people who make it happen. This year marks 32 years, as I mentioned, of presenting these awards with the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation. And they continue to reflect Richard's belief that historic places matter because of the meaning that they carry. That through preservation, we keep beauty, dignity, memory, and opportunity alive. We are deeply grateful to the Driehaus Foundation for continuing Richard's legacy, and especially to Executive Director Ann Lazar, who is retiring this year. Give her a round of applause, please. And again, we want to give our deepest thanks for your vision, for your dedication, and your extraordinary service to us, everybody in this room, and all of the grantees. We would also like to thank our partners at the National Park Service. I know I just saw Anthony Rubano, one of the members of the staff at the Illinois State Historic Preservation Office, who have touched many of the projects that you're going to see tonight. Thank you, Anthony. And I'm sure with us tonight we have several staff members of our local preservation commissions or preservation commission members. Thank you for what you do as well. And to our elected officials, clap for them. We need that right now. We also want to thank our elected officials. There are many out there who champion preservation, and their leadership and policy truly makes a difference in the work that we do and to the projects tonight. So thank you to our elected and our appointed officials. And even as we celebrate, thank you. Even as we celebrate, preservation asks us to face truth as well. You know, the places that we're honoring tonight rest on Indigenous lands, and they do carry legacies of displacement and inequity. So together, we work to ensure that preservation does tell the whole story and that it continues to serve everyone. Now, the awards themselves tonight, which we'll see off to the side as we hand them out to the award winners, they embody that mission as well. They're designed by sculptor Michael Chupik, who I believe is here with us tonight, of Trek Studios. He worked in collaboration with Mr. Driehaus to create them, and he also works in partnership with Yolanda Shum to assemble them every year. They replicate terracotta panels from the 1899 Western Methodist Book Concern building by Harry Wheelock. And they are a reminder of what we fight to protect and why it matters. So I hope you'll go up to one of the award winners and take a look at it later so you can see it up close. Now, tonight's honorees show that preservation is about people as much as it is about places. Behind every project stands a team of advocates, architects, tradespeople, and community members like all of you whose creativity and care make this work possible. So please join me in showing appreciation for this year's awards jury shown on the screen. Thank you for all of your hard work, jurors, and for being our presenters tonight. You're about to hear from them all. Would you give them a round of applause, please? And as we begin tonight's celebration, let these stories inspire you. We hear every year that you walk out, you feel inspired, go to do this work, talk with people. We hope that you walk away again with this as a feel-good night. And it's my pleasure to introduce our first presenters for the evening, Peter and Jackie Holston, last year's Legacy Award winners. And of course, we are very honored to have Jackie Holston as the chairman of the board of Landmarks Illinois. Would you please join me in welcoming back to the stage Peter and Jackie Holston.
Thank you, Bonnie. Good evening, everyone. As former awardees, Peter and myself, Jackie Holston, we know how meaningful tonight is to everyone here who is honored and to everyone who is visiting. The fellow preservationists who safeguard places that matter is who we're here to honor tonight. Waukegan History Museum. Tonight we're thrilled to present the first award to them, to the Waukegan History Museum at the Carnegie. This ambitious $15 million project, led by the Waukegan Park District and the Waukegan Historical Society, transformed the historic 1903 Carnegie Library, listed on the National Register of Historic Places, into a vibrant museum and a cultural center.
Years of neglect had left the library in disrepair, with vandalized interiors, missing millwork, and damaged plaster. Through meticulous craftsmanship, lost details were recreated, from ornate plasterwork to the dome oculus, and the limestone steps and wing walls were returned to their original grandeur. Since reopening in 2024, the community has embraced the museum as a place of learning and pride, one that shares Waukegan's diverse stories from its indigenous origins to its industrial heritage and belong. Congratulations on winning the 2025 Landmark Illinois Driehaus Award, Foundation Preservation for Rehabilitation.
Thank you, and good evening. I'm Gunny Harbo of Harbo Architects, and joining me here on stage are Lori Neerheim, President of the Waukegan Historical Society, and Ty Rohr of the Waukegan Park District. On behalf of the Park District, the Historical Society, Harbo Architects, Berglund Construction, and the entire team of design professionals and contractors who made this project happen, I'd like to thank Landmarks Illinois and the Driehaus Foundation Preservation Awards jury for this wonderful honor. Time does not allow for full thank you of all the many people and organizations that made this project possible, but it included an amazing combination of generous public and private financial support, including an anonymous $5 million lead gift, as well as donations from hundreds of individuals. I know that they're all extremely grateful for this recognition. Originally designed by the architects Patton and Miller and completed in 1903, the Waukegan Carnegie Library served as the main library of the city of Waukegan until it was replaced in 1965. It then sat vacant for 60 years until a group of dedicated leaders, the Waukegan Historical Society, my friend and colleague Lori Neerheim here, devised a plan to bring it back to life as a new home of the Waukegan History Museum. The building has been painstakingly restored and converted into this vibrant museum and archive dedicated to the history of Waukegan. Its association with the science fiction writer Ray Bradbury has added to its significance, and the building now houses his private library as part of its permanent collection. The project has had a huge positive impact on the community by transforming this long vacant public building into once again thriving centerpiece, and masterpiece as well, of the city of Waukegan as its Waukegan History Museum at the Carnegie. Despite widespread appreciation for this architecture and its historic importance in the community, the building was constantly in danger and threatened, and even threatened with demolition in the 1990s, which triggered this action to find a way to ultimately preserve this preservation campaign that resulted in its historic landmarking in 2007 and adding it to the National Register in 2014. The recently completed restoration and adaptive reuse have finally secured a wonderful long-term future for the building, eliminating one of Waukegan's most conspicuous cases of blight while unleashing the latent potential of an underutilized community resource. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Gary Anderson, and I'm on the board of Landmarks Illinois. I'm also from Rockford, which is stone's throw from our next award winner. Pearl Place Apartments in Belvidere is a former school built in 1893 that has been transformed into modern, affordable senior housing. Once threatened with demolition, it was saved and listed on the National Register of Historic Places and given new life through advocacy and preservation. And for me, it's personal because I was part of that advocacy team to keep it from being demolished back in the 1980s. In 2023, Gorman and Company acquired the property and restored its architectural character, repairing brickwork, windows, and interior details while meeting today's standards for safety, accessibility, and energy efficiency. Belvidere has long faced a shortage of affordable housing, especially for seniors and veterans. Pearl Place now provides comfort, dignity, community, and showing how preservation directly improves people's lives. Congratulations to Gorman and Company and the entire project team on winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Preservation. Al?
Thank you, Gary. Good evening. I'm Alan Zeiss, the Executive Director of Winnebago Homes and Boone County Housing Authority. Unfortunately, Ron Kluwer from Gorman and Company is feeling the effects of the government shutdown. His flight to Chicago was canceled. I'll let him know. He's feverishly driving back from Indianapolis right now. But we did partner with him on this project, and I'm honored to stand in and read his speech. On behalf of the Gorman and Company team, as well as the Pearl Place staff who made this work possible, alongside our partner Alan Zeiss and his team who is with you this evening, I want to thank Landmarks Illinois and the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation for recognizing what was a labor of love and an onion of history. The more we peeled back, the more we learned why we needed to save our place for the people of Northern Illinois. Pearl Place sits in Belvidere, Illinois, northwest of Chicago, and because of the work and investments of many, it can continue to deliver affordable housing for seniors and veterans, not in one historically relevant school, but in two adjacent pieces of beautiful architecture. These halls, teachers, and classrooms help nurture former students into elected officials, a Miss America, and even served as the meeting ground for the parents of one of our region's HUD Region 5 directors. I'm honored to accept this award as recognition of so many people's contributions and regret that I cannot be with you this evening. Be well, and as Vice Chair of Landmarks Illinois Board of Directors, congratulations to all of tonight's winners. To everyone in attendance, please be the people who keep saving places for people. Thank you. That's from Ron. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Don Patton, the founding president of the Carroll Historical Preservation Project. Our next award honors the transformation of the Tri-County YMCA in Granite City into the Edison Avenue Art Lofts, built between 1924 and 1926. This local landmark was adapted into a vibrant, mixed-use community space by Rise Community Development. The project preserves signature features, coffer ceilings, tile floors, fireplaces, and the monumental staircase, while creating 37 affordable loft-style apartments, including homes for veterans, plus galleries, studios, and performance spaces. By pairing preservation with affordable housing and art programming, the Edison Avenue Arts Loft demonstrates how historic buildings can foster equity, creativity, and community vitality. Congratulations to the RISE Community Development and the entire project team on winning the 2025 Landmark Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Adaptive Reuse.
Thank you very much. My name is Colleen Hafner, and I'm joined by Jess Henry. We're with RISE Community Development. We want to thank Landmarks Illinois and the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation for this incredible honor. The Edison Avenue Art Lofts project has been a journey, and what a building to work with. This was once the Tri-County YMCA, and if these walls could talk, they would probably blush. Local folks tell us that when they learned to swim in the basement pool as kids, they did it the old-fashioned way, no swimsuits required. Talk about a splash in Granite City history. Over the years, this place was a gym, a haunted house called the Cutting Room, and even a police training academy. In fact, when we purchased the building, we had to clear out gurneys, mannequins, and blank shell casings. But even with walls covered in fake blood, its potential was obvious. And now it's 37 beautiful, affordable loft apartments, including homes for veterans, and a community hub where creativity thrives. And this is quite a resume for one building. As we all know, preservation is not just about the bricks and the beams, it's about the stories, where we honor the past and we've created a future where art and community come together. So on behalf of the entire project team, RISE Community Development, Roseman and Associates, Karen Bodie Baxter, Altman Charter, IDA, Boston Financial, SCB Banks, Associated Banks, and all of the arts organizations across Granite City, thank you for believing in this vision, because when you honor the past, you really do build a stronger future.
Good evening. I'm Frank Butterfield, Chief Operating Officer at Landmarks Illinois. It is my honor to recognize the Friends of the Old Millstadt Water Tower, winners of this year's Preservation Award for Advocacy. Built in 1931, the Water Tower, affectionately called the Tin Man, is Millstadt's most visible landmark and is one of the few Tin Man-style towers left in Illinois. When demolition threatened the tower in 2013, a small but very determined group, mostly women, rallied their community and partnered with Landmarks Illinois to save it. For more than a decade, the Friends overcame one challenge after another, preventing demolition and raising funds through grassroots events like bake sales and 5K races. The path to preservation was not easy. Weather delays, the pandemic, and even the reassignment of the restoration contractors could have derailed their efforts, but they never gave up. In April 2024, their persistence paid off, and Millstadt gathered to celebrate the tower's rebirth. Today, the Tin Man stands as a symbol of identity, resilience, and local pride. Congratulations to the Friends of the Old Millstadt Water Tower on winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Advocacy.
Good evening. My name is Betty Keller Timmer, and I am the president of Friends of the Old Millstadt Water Tower. And this gentleman happens to be my husband, Bob. Too often, us people from Millstadt feel like we are only a little tiny speck on the map. This award shows that our efforts are appreciated. Thank you, Landmarks Illinois and the Driehaus Foundation, for honoring us with this award. Our Tin Man Tower has been standing tall in the middle of our town since 1931. In 2013, I learned that the village board was going to get bids for the demolition of the tower. I knew I wanted to do something to keep it standing, and for the next 11 and a half years, helping keep the tower standing was my main objective. The organization was never more than 15 members, but whenever we needed volunteers, many people helped with whatever we needed. We had fundraisers nearly every month except when that little thing called COVID-19 showed up. In fact, we had to cancel our trivia night, which was our biggest fundraiser at the time, on the morning of the trivia, March the 14th, 2020. I've been saying for 12 years that this has been a civics lesson. We learned how local government works, how to start an organization, and how, if you want something done, you have to be ready to jump in with both feet and get out of your comfort zone. I did that more than once. When we started working to save the tower in 2013, few people thought that we had a chance of succeeding. But we never gave up, and somehow, with God's help and guidance, we made it. And thanks also to Frank Butterfield. The organization kind of adopted him as our son. Frank gave us one of our more memorable moments, and let me tell you, we had our share. So on behalf of the friends and the Millstadt Tin Man, thank you very much.
I'm here. Good evening. I'm Jean Follett, a longtime Landmarks Illinois board member and supporter, and our next award is for environmental sustainability. The Coles County Courthouse, which we have amazing courthouses in Illinois, and this is probably one of the top 5, if not the top, has stood at the heart of Charleston, Illinois for 125 years. With its bold Richardsonian Romanesque style, the courthouse has always conveyed strength, permanence, and pride. The window restoration project replaced 384 deteriorated aluminum windows with historically accurate, energy-efficient ones, reopening arched windows that had been covered for half a century. This project balanced sustainability and historic integrity, cutting energy costs while reviving the courthouse's original beauty, a great example of how even busy public buildings can fight climate change while preserving their historic integrity. Today, the courthouse continues to serve as the anchor of downtown Charleston. It is not only where Abraham Lincoln once practiced law, but where residents today come together to celebrate, remember, and connect. Congratulations to the Coles County Courthouse Window Project team on winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Environmental Sustainability.
Good evening. I'm Michael Watts, Chair of the Coles County Planning and Development Committee, and I'm joined by George Edwards, our County Treasurer. For years, the county sought to replace the shiny aluminum courthouse windows installed in the 1960s. Twice, the county board passed bonds for new windows, and twice the money was diverted for emergencies. But in 2021, ARPA funds changed the story. Back in 2017, Coles County Regional Planning Commission Executive Director Kelly Lockhart commissioned a state-funded energy audit by Centrica Business Solutions. It recommended new energy-efficient windows, so in 2022, Kelly asked Centrica for a proposal styled after a remaining original window. Required were approvals from the Historic Preservation Advisory Council, 3 county committees, the full county board, and the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, plus a $200,000 grant from the Charleston Area Charitable Foundation to finish the project. Local contractor Ed Carter Construction completed the $3 million project on time and on budget, replacing all 384 windows while the courthouse remained open. The Romanesque-style courthouse now closely resembles its 1900 appearance. Early project champions, Treasurer George Edwards and Preservation Chair Kip Maurice, with Ed Carter here tonight. Kelly Lockhart could not attend, so I stand in his stead. And an unforeseen benefit, not only are the windows energy efficient, court does not have to pause when somebody on a Harley goes roaring by, because the windows are also sound dampening. So on behalf of the citizens of Coles County, our thanks to Landmarks Illinois and the Driehaus Foundation for this award.
Good evening. I'm Kendra Parzan, Advocacy Manager for Landmarks Illinois. Our next award takes us to Tinley Park. At the heart of this story is the Karl Vaught building, constructed around 1865 as a hunting lodge. Over the years, it became stables, a soda bottling plant, apartments, and offices. It is the first masonry building in Tinley Park, and still the city's only National Register listed property. By the time Banging Gavel Brews purchased the property in 2017, it had been vacant for years. Working with Altus Works, the team transformed it into a brewery, tap room, restaurant, balancing adaptation and preservation to qualify for federal historic tax credits. The team's thoughtful work ensured the building's 19th century character was not only protected, but highlighted. The result is both stunning and deeply meaningful, a vibrant gathering space that connects people to Tinley Park's history while sparking a new economic energy downtown. Congratulations to Banging Gavel Brews, Altus Works, and the entire project team for winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Adaptive Reuse.
Thank you, Kendra. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jim Richard, and with me is Becky O'Connor, and we're from Banging Gavel Brews in Tinley Park, Illinois. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Illinois Landmarks, or Landmarks Illinois rather, and the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation for this incredible honor. On behalf of everyone at Banging Gavel Brews and the Village of Tinley Park, I'm humbled to accept this award for the adaptive reuse of the historic Karl Vaught building. When we first set our eyes and hearts on this building back in 2016, it was hard not to see both the beauty and the burden of history. But we believed this landmark could live again, not just as a building, but as a place where the community could gather, celebrate, and connect. There were many moments we questioned our sanity, but with every setback came someone in the community cheering us on, reminding us of why this project mattered. This project wasn't just about saving a building, it was about restoring a piece of Tinley Park's heart and giving it new life. To our family, our incredible team, our partners, architects Altus Works, contractors Urban Innovation, the Village of Tinley Park, the Tinley Park Historical Society, SHPO, and the National Park Service, who made it all possible, and of course, our amazing community. Thank you for believing in a dream that took nearly a decade to complete. And to Landmarks Illinois, thank you for recognizing that preserving history isn't just about the past, it's about giving it a future. We raise our glass, if I had one, to everyone who helped make the future possible. Cheers. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Erin McNamara. I am from the Bricklayers and Allied Crafts Workers Union. It's my pleasure to present the award for Cultural Heritage Conservation to the Poit Tak Center and the Chinese Christian Union Church. Built in 1928, the Poit Tak Center is a Chinese eclectic masterpiece and the only designated Chicago landmark in Chinatown. In 1993, the Chinese Christian Union Church purchased the building, renaming it Poitok, meaning to build character and to cultivate virtue. Serving more than 3,500 people each year, the center provides immigrant and family services, youth programs, and community support. Recent restoration work invested nearly $1 million to repair masonry and restore the building's magnificent cast iron front canopy. This work ensures that the Poitok Center continues as a cornerstone of community identity and pride, honoring the history, resilience, and cultural heritage of Chicago's Chinatown. Congratulations to the Poitok Center and the Chinese Christian Union Church in winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Cultural Heritage Conservation.
Yeah, I'm David Wu, and on behalf of the Poitok Center and the Chinese Christian Union Church, I want to thank Landmarks Illinois and the Driehaus Foundation for this award. For our recent project, Wiss Janie Elsner provided architectural services, and Bully Andrews Masonry Restoration served as general contractor. If it wasn't for the federal shutdown, this might be the first announcement that our building is now listed on the National Register of Historic Places as a site of national significance. Ramsey and Associates and the Chinatown Museum helped us with our pending application. Hopefully we'll get our happy news very soon. For the past 30 years, the building has been used for our church's programs, as well as Poitok Center's community services assisting Chinatown residents. While our building deserves recognition, other Asian American sites go unrecognized, sometimes due to short histories, sometimes due to the community having moved or been displaced, or sometimes because immigrants are overlooked. Across the country, Chinatowns are under threat, but thankfully, Chicago's Chinatown is flourishing. As our building reaches its centennial in 2028, I hope that it could be a moment for Chinatown to reflect on its past, hope for its future, and catalyze conversations about preservation in the broader Asian American community. Thanks again for this award.
Good evening. I'm Emily Scheidock, Chair of Landmarks Illinois' Skyline Council and Director of Rural Initiatives at Partners for Sacred Places. It is my honor to present the Stewardship Award to Friends of Historic Second Church for their extraordinary work preserving Second Presbyterian Church in Chicago, a National Historic Landmark and designated Chicago landmark. Founded in 2006, Friends has spent nearly 2 decades restoring the church's remarkable artistic and architectural treasures, including the Tree of Life mural, Frederick Clay Bartlett arch murals, and Tiffany stained glass windows. They also repaired masonry, replastered and repainted interiors, and restored century-old light fixtures. Friends of Historic Second Church serves as a dedicated steward of this historic building, welcoming tens of thousands of visitors, offering tours, lectures, and programs that illuminate the church's artistry, architecture, and rich history. Congratulations to Friends of Historic Second Church on winning the 2025 Landmarks Illinois Richard H. Driehaus Foundation Preservation Award for Stewardship.
I can't see you out there. Good evening. I am thrilled and proud to accept this award on behalf of the Board of Friends of Historic Second Church and all who have made possible the preservation work at Chicago's only National Historic Landmark Church, Second Presbyterian. My name is Linda Miller, and I'm the president of Friends of Historic Second Church, and I'm joined here on stage by our vice president, Nate Lacius. Got it. Friends is a not-for-profit organization separate from the church whose mission is to preserve the art and architecture of Chicago's landmark Second Presbyterian Church and to engage neighbors and the world in sharing our passion for its beauty and significance. Our work would not have been possible without the support of many individuals and organizations, and I want to thank them all. First of all, the Board of Directors of Friends of Historic Second Church, our part-time manager from the past 10 years, Heather Kendall, and our very new Executive Director, Andy Pierce. The congregants of Second Presbyterian Church who have welcomed Friends with open arms and shared with us the joy of each successive restoration project. The 35 docents, informed and passionate, who provide thousands of tours each year. Also, the hundreds and hundreds of donors, large and small, who have made our preservation work come to life. And I'd also like to thank the conservators who have performed the delicate conservation work with such skill and patience and collaboration. All of them have contributed to bringing back to the visitor's experience that wow factor when they walk in the doors. With much gratitude, we thank you for this recognition, and we pledge to carry forward with pride and dedication the continued work of preserving this Chicago treasure. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Ann Lazar, co-president and executive director of the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation. It's my pleasure to present this year's Richard H. Driehaus Legacy Award to the National Public Housing Museum. This spring, the museum completed a remarkable adaptive reuse project, transforming the last remaining building of the historic Jane Addams homes into a vibrant civic and cultural destination. Built in 1938 and now a Chicago landmark, it preserves the lived experience of former public housing residents while inspiring reflections on equity, community, and housing justice. In the early 2000s, the demolition of thousands of public housing units displaced tens of thousands of Chicago families. The museum is the last reminder of those who once lived there. Historic apartments were restored, along with original balconies and windows and Depression-era sculptures. It also created a cultural workforce development program that empowers former residents to serve as museum educators and oral historians, sharing their own lived experience. Through vision and collaboration, the project team revived a building into a living monument of public housing and the people who live there. Congratulations to the National Public Housing Museum on winning the 2025 Richard H. Driehaus Legacy Award.
Thank you so much to Landmarks Illinois and to the Richard H. Driehaus Foundation for this beautiful award. The National Public Housing Museum is a love letter to public housing residents and every movement that has organized and continues to fight for housing justice. Also, I forgot, my name is Lisa Lee, and I'm the Executive Director and the Chief Curator at the National Public Housing Museum.
Hi, and we're tag teaming. I'm Sunny Fisher, and I'm the board. What am I? I'm the board chair. I'm the board chair and a co-founder of the National Public Housing Museum. We're so grateful to Landmarks Illinois, who's a fierce and effective advocate for expanding the preservation movement to tell more inclusive and diverse stories about historic sites in the United States. It means a lot to me personally to be accepting the Richard H. Driehaus Legacy Award, as I was executive director of the Driehaus Foundation when Miss Vera Beverly, a public housing resident leader, came in 2006 to ask for help with her idea for a place to commemorate the stories of residents. With our program officer Rich Cahan's groundwork, Richard Driehaus and the foundation board were moved by the vision and were incredibly supportive during those crucial first years.
It has been such an honor to preserve and repurpose the last remaining building of the Jane Addams homes. The building was constructed with over 2 million humble, incredibly resilient, and lovely Chicago Common bricks. The project team was just as humble, incredibly resilient, and lovely. We worked together with collective determination, collective joy, collective care, and I thank you all for your radical imagination and creativity. This award is collectively ours.
We also recognize our steadfast board, past and present, for their work and their support. Their commitment to this dream and our mission to ensure that everyone deserves a place to call home has been and is essential. We must also thank the thousands of donors who contributed funds ranging from $5 to $5 million and lending objects, and most important, that giving us their stories.
While humble bricks are the foundation of our building, the work of cultural preservation needs to be fierce, brave, loud, and insistent. And for this, we thank the fun and passionate staff of the National Public Housing Museum. Every day, you make sure that never again will a single story be told as if it's the only one. And your work proves that a story will always be the shortest distance between two people. It is such a privilege to work with each and every one of you every single day. You rock.
In these precarious times, the Public Housing Museum is a call to our nation not only to commit to a more inclusive foundation for the stories we preserve and interpret, but to serve as a civic and cultural anchor, a place to address housing insecurity and many other issues, to reinvigorate our claim on democracy, and to insist that our government be responsible to care for the well-being of all its people, a place to recommit to the public good and to our commonwealth. We cannot do this work, and the museum cannot exist without all of you and all of us. Thank you so much.
All right, I'm the only thing standing between you and a drink, folks. Not a good place to be. All right, award winners. Your work inspires us all. Are you inspired this evening? Excellent. Thank you all for your dedication to your communities, to our collective economy, and to our shared history as well. You have shown us what is possible when passion and perseverance come together. Thank you to our staff, Landmarks Illinois. Lisa just said her staff rocks. I have to say the same about the Landmarks Illinois staff is incredible, remarkable, dedicated people, and I give them an applause and thank them for all of their work. Let me give a special note, though, to those who really do make tonight possible. And so I want to say thank you. I hope you've met Layla Wills. She puts her passion into this program and the jury. Thank you so much, Layla, for your dedication, intense dedication to this event. To our intern, Lindsay Mesa, you'll see them around tonight, for also supporting this project and for making our events extraordinary. That would be Alma Rabronia, our Director of Events. Please give them a thank you, if you would. We also make sure that we give something beautiful, something meaningful to our award winners, and that is because of Michael Chupik of Trek Studios and Yolanda Sham, as I mentioned in the beginning. We want to thank them for creating our beautiful awards, and of course our design team, Patricia Kwiatkowska from Ugly Dog Design, for all of the work she does to make things beautiful. And I also want to thank the team here at Theater on the Lake and our caterers for making what you're about to experience wonderful for you as well. And finally, a really, truly heartfelt thank you. You heard tonight about the supporters of the projects that were given awards. I would like to thank our annual corporate sponsors for their very generous support for our work. We could not do this without you. The time that we supported many of these award winners at the very beginning of their projects. Thank you all, annual corporate sponsors. And to every one of you in this room for being here tonight, for celebrating our award winners, for being a part of our work to help people save places for people, with people. And I would say if you're not already a member of ours or a supporter, please consider joining us tonight and being an even more integral part of our community to ensure that we can help people do this revitalization work statewide. So with that, everyone, as I said, it's coming, your drinks are coming. On behalf of our board of directors, many of them are here, and our staff, I want to say thank you again and congratulations to tonight's award winners. Now let's go and raise our glasses to our awardees, and I hope you have a beautiful evening, and please go see these places. Let's meet up at Banging Gavels, everybody? Yes? But until we do, go see the National Public Housing Museum. Let's go forth and enjoy each other. Congratulations. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you for coming.